All right, fact or fiction? The neighborhood realtor. That's the realtor in your neighborhood that sells more homes in your neighborhood than anybody else. Is that really a thing? Is the neighborhood realtor really more qualified to sell your house than anybody else? Fact or fiction? Actually, there's some gray area there. Didn't think I'd say that, did you? Let's talk about it. This is Steve, real estate agent with the Malone Realty Group at EXP in Atlanta. Okay, so fact or fiction, this series, we kind of talk about the truths or the beliefs that buyers and sellers have about real estate, and we kind of break them down and say, is it fact or is it fiction? Seems pretty simple. Came up with it all by myself. So fact or fiction, today we're going to talk about the neighborhood realtor because I've heard this before, talking to people selling their house because they also interview the neighborhood realtor who, they sell more houses in here than anybody else. They must, know more about selling in this neighborhood than anything else. Fact or fiction? So to me, on the basis of does somebody who lives in a neighborhood have the ability to sell your house better than somebody else based on simply the fact that they live in a neighborhood? That's fiction, okay? Fiction. Because if I were to go right now and get my license, and the second I get my license, I am not 100% more qualified to sell a house in my neighborhood than somebody who's been in real estate for 20 years, okay? Being the neighborhood realtor by itself means absolutely nothing, okay? That being said, have we come across neighborhood realtors who have done exceptional jobs of selling a neighborhood? Absolutely. I'll give you a perfect example. I'm not going to give the realtor's name. This realtor doesn't need any more accolades than they already have. But I'm in Buford. There's a large community near us in Decula that has the one agent who just dominates the entire neighborhood. And this agent and their team, they sell a whole bunch of homes in this neighborhood. They've been selling a whole bunch of homes in this neighborhood for years and years and years. And they will probably sell a whole bunch of homes in that neighborhood for years and years and years and years and years. Okay? That being said, the reason that agent sells a whole bunch of homes in that neighborhood, does it have anything to do with the fact that he lives in the neighborhood? The fact that his mailbox in his house is in the neighborhood. Does that make him any more qualified to sell a house in that neighborhood? No. His location and his house location where he lives does not give him a unique opportunity to sell in that neighborhood. However, what he has proven is he has reached out to the people in that neighborhood. He has stayed with the people in that neighborhood. He has advertised to the people in that neighborhood. He has served the people in that neighborhood. And obviously the people that he has served, they believe that he's an exceptional realtor, and they've told all their friends that are left in that neighborhood, and then they use that realtor, and then they tell their friends, so on and so forth. This realtor does an exceptional job of customer service. They do an exceptional job of taking care of their clients. They do an exceptional job of selling houses, exceptional job of helping people buy houses in there. Every time they get an at-bat in that neighborhood when it comes to either buying or selling, they knock it out of the park every single time. And then they advertise like crazy with postcards, and they sponsor stuff at schools, and they stay in front of everybody's eyeballs. They do everything that they're supposed to do to become the king of that neighborhood. Okay? So, that being said, do they do an exceptional job in that neighborhood? Yes. Could you say that they are the king of that neighborhood? I mean, looking at the stats, you could say yes. I mean, so that's one of the situations where does a neighborhood realtor, are they the best person to get the job done? I mean, they could be the best person to sell a house in that neighborhood, without a doubt. That being said, there are plenty of other realtors, in the city that could also do an exceptional job, and they don't live in the neighborhood. What makes you an exceptional realtor and help them sell a house in the neighborhood has nothing to do with where you are. It has nothing to do with the knowledge of the neighborhood, things like that. It has everything to do with how you're going to market the house, how you're going to get the house staged, how are you going to photograph the house, how you're going to get in front of the other agents, are you going to open up the open house, and how are you going to attract people to the open house? How are you going to aggressively go back and forth on an offer to get the most for your clients? How are you going to protect your clients during an inspection and during an appraisal, if the appraisal comes in? Like all of these things, that is the most important thing when it comes to hiring a realtor. Okay, if they happen to live in the neighborhood on top of that all, well then, I mean, that's the chocolate syrup on top of the ice cream cone. But that being said, that by itself does not make them an exceptional realtor. The fact that they're an exceptional realtor is what makes them an exceptional realtor. They just happen to live in that neighborhood. That being said, if somebody was in my neighborhood and wanted to hire me based on the fact that I was a neighborhood realtor, go ahead and hire me. I'll get it done. But no, seriously, in this market and in this world that we live in, everything is online. Okay, the pictures are online. We have a lot of people coming in from out of state, from California, from New York, from parts of the Midwest. Where especially earlier this year when they had a lot of lockdowns in some of the other areas, those people were coming here looking for houses. And where were they looking for houses? They weren't going to open houses. They weren't asking their neighbor or anything like that. They were looking online. It has everything to do with what is your presence online. Okay, that's what sells houses now. Is getting it online, marketing the house, and getting in front of everybody, and then, once you get somebody under contract, then negotiating it and doing the best for your client that way. But the fact that somebody actually lives in the neighborhood has no bearing on the physical X's and O's, the physical can I get this done or not. So there you go. There's my 2 cents. It's worth exactly that. If you want to talk about, whether you want to buy or sell, and whether it makes sense to use your neighborhood realtor or to hire somebody who may not live in your neighborhood, what makes the most sense when looking to sell a house? What are you looking for with a realtor? Give me a call, 470-233-4409. 470-233-4409. This is Steve, Malone Realty Group, EXP Atlanta. Take care, bye.